challenges, the good, the bad. Fuck. But I always refuse the help because I just prefer to speak the Dutch. Let us scatter everything one time. You know, let's just mess everything up. Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Omoteyo Siawemene, and today I'm back with another video. So in this video I'm going to be talking about my challenges learning Dutch, the good, the bad and the ugly, everything that has gone on within the 4.5 years I've been in Belgium, almost 5 years. So I'm going to be telling you guys everything. Like I said in the previous video, to learn Dutch, when you go for the Dutch classes, you have to learn Dutch from Dutch. So from the very first class, Dutch is being spoken to you, and then you just have to try and figure it out through gestures. And yeah, so I could only speak in the class because in the class all of us were the same. We are all learning, so we are saying all what we were saying was terrible, it was funny, so we just laugh at each other. We don't even know what was wrong or what was right, so it was okay to speak in the class. But once I left the class, once I get home, or I'm on the road or in the bus, I couldn't speak. I was scared, I was ashamed, I don't know, I felt what I was saying was totally wrong, so I wasn't confident enough to say it out. So I and my classmate from Dutch class here will take the bus going home, and in the bus we'll try to make conversations, you know, with ourselves, just to talk. For us, we understand what we are saying, but every other person in the bus, they don't know what we are saying. They are looking at us strange, like, what are these people saying? So it was really like, yeah, that made me scared to speak it out. If I want to have a conversation in Dutch, I would have the whole conversation in my head, and it will sound good, yeah? I will have it in my head and it will sound good. Okay, fine, say it out, problem. I won't be able to speak out, or I'll be just scared, or I'll just be messing up, I'll be biting my tongue and stuff. So it took me a long time to be able to start saying Dutch out. Another thing I did when I was learning Dutch that was also terrible was translating directly from English to Dutch. You see, that is like big problem. Don't do that, because it's just an entire different conversation. It's a different conversation altogether. If I try to translate from English to Dutch, I'll end up saying nonsense, or just not even being able to understand what I was saying. In my head it will sound good, but the moment I say it out, the stares people are going to give is going to already like make you know that you're just saying nonsense. One thing that actually happened to me a lot of time, still happens to me now, is when I'm having a conversation in Dutch, especially at work, and we're having like a group meeting and stuff, and everybody has to say something. At first, when we used to have those meetings, I don't used to talk because I know that I had a lot to say, but I know I couldn't communicate, so I wouldn't say anything in the group meeting. And after, I'll go and meet with my team leader and say what I have to say in English, because he could understand me in English. So along the line, I said, okay, there's no way I won't be talking, so I started trying to have a conversation. So when it's my turn to talk during the group meeting, and I talk, everybody's gonna be looking at me so serious. In my head, I know people are looking at me trying to grab what I'm saying, just keep saying what I'm saying, dragging it anyhow, because I know in the end they're gonna understand what I'm saying with my gesture and all of that. So I always just keep saying what I'm saying. A quick backstory, when I was in Nigeria, I did my last 2 years of secondary school in Osun State, because my parents wanted me to learn how to speak Yoruba. That's my native language. So when I got there, I was made fun of a lot. I know at one time they were calling me Omopotakot, Omopota. That was my nickname in secondary school, because I was from Port Harcourt, yeah. So after a couple of months, I started picking up with Yoruba and speaking. So I was happy with myself, you know. I was managing. They were making a lot of fun at me, but I was managing, yeah. So when I came back to Port Harcourt, my English was terrible, because then I had learned Pidgin Yoruba. I don't know how to explain this, but yeah, that's what happened. So my tenses in English were terrible. I still having issues with my English, and then they were laughing at me here in Port Harcourt. My siblings, if I say something, will laugh at they will laugh at me. So I had the same issue when I came to Belgium, when I started learning Dutch. So my Dutch was, you know, it was getting okay. My English was falling. I don't know if it happens to any other person out there, but this is just my own personal story. So till now, I still have problems with English. I won't say big problems, but I now speak Dutch English. I don't know. Yeah, because then sometimes I translate Dutch words directly to English, and I do the same for Dutch, so it's crazy. So my whole language situation is a mess right now. I know English is not good, Dutch is not perfect, everywhere I'm just somewhere in between, but I don't mind. My Dutch just keeps getting better the more I speak. So I'm going to tell you guys things that I did that I think helped me speak Dutch faster or learn. I don't know if it's fast, but just helped me in learning Dutch. One thing I did was in 2017 I joined for voluntary work, and this was advised by my social assistant. So I did this voluntary work, and it was every Sunday, and it was with kids. I did it for a couple of months, and it's really helped me because kids, they will always correct you. So if I say something that is not right, immediately they will correct me. It felt easier to learn from kids. For me, it was really easy learning from kids because they'll correct you with love, with laughter, and then it's just fun, and then you learn along the line. So I did this voluntary work for a couple of months, and it was really fun. It was really, really fun. We would do fun things with the kids and all of that. That really helped me. Another thing that helped me was insisting to speak Dutch. So when I have conversations with people that understand English and they notice that my Dutch is not so good, they try to change the conversation to English. And in their opinion, they're trying to help me make conversations easy. But I always insist to speak Dutch because I have to learn this, you know, and insisting helps me. It helps me, and it helps them see that, okay, she's serious. So they correct me, and we just keep the conversation going. Another thing that helped me was going for extra conversation class. So after your Dutch classes, there's some extra classes you have some days in the week. They are with always 2 hours or thereabout. It's just conversation. It's not like your normal curriculum for normal classes. It's just conversation for those that can speak Dutch or those that are willing to learn. So you go in a small group, and it's usually organized by VDAB, but there are other voluntary classes like that, and you just go and you meet with new people. You meet people that can speak Dutch very well. You also meet with foreigners that learn Dutch, and they tell you what they've done, or you just have conversations with them, have fun. They invite you for bonfire, they invite you for picnics and stuff, and you just get to meet people, and it also helps in speaking of Dutch. Another thing was I had a friend, her name is Princess. Probably you meet her in one of this video. She came a year after I did to Belgium, and at some point in our lives we decided to always have Dutch conversation with each other. I think we did that for a couple, I don't know, maybe a month or two, but it also helped because we always correct each other, and then we did also texting each other back in Dutch. Our conversations was always also in Dutch. I think it was for about a month or two, but I got to find out that that also helped me. Another thing that also helped me was back-to-back classes. So at some point for like 6 to 9 months, I'll have class in the morning, Dutch classes in the morning, and in the afternoon I'll have a Dutch class. So because I was going to class the morning and afternoon, I was going to class the whole time. So if I leave the house in the morning like 8 a.m, I'll always get home maybe 4 or 5, just like a normal student. So that also helped me learn. But that period my Dutch became really, really good because it was just like Dutch here, Dutch here, Dutch here. So when I get home I have to speak English. So that was really helpful. I had some challenges as well, and some challenges I had was me. It was shame. So rather than speak Dutch where there was crowd in the early days, I'll be so shy. I'll just be smiling. So my answers were always yeah, nee, yeah, nee, the whole time. People would have conversations and try to be friendly and stuff, but then I would just maintain yeah, nee, and I'll always be at the corner of the conversation because I was really shy of saying it, or I was just shy of how it's going to sound when I say it. So that was something. It took me a while to get used to just saying it out and not thinking much about it. The fact was I thought too much about what I was going to say, and then it just scared me to say it, not knowing that people actually don't really care. So most people are willing to help you. Something else I'm going to say is just I'm going to advise for those that are coming here or that are trying to learn Dutch. One thing is to don't think too much about it. Okay, don't stress yourself, don't think too much, because if you think too much about it you won't be able to say it. You think too much that you'll be too scared to say it. So don't think too much about it and just spit it out, you know, just spit it out. Yeah. Another thing is follow classes. If you're going for Dutch classes, follow it. Be consistent, try and go for all your classes, and Also, voluntary work really helps. It's good if you do voluntary work with kids or with elderly. It's also really good because the elderly are really good also helping you learn Dutch, and also kids, they are really good in assisting you while you're learning Dutch. Going for those classes, those extra classes, I think some of them were €2, some were cheap. I think some you had to pay just €2. I don't know why, but you had to just pay €2, and so were free. Those classes, you just go, just have conversation, or if you're having difficulty in your Dutch classes, when you go to those classes, you can actually just tell them what you think your problems are in Dutch or in your classes, or what your challenges you're going through, and they're going to help you get better. And that thing is to be true to yourself. So there are different level of classes here when you're doing Dutch classes. When you're going to learn Dutch, you have the fast class, you have the slow, you have the intermediate here. If you do the fast and it's too fast for you, go for the middle or go for the slow. Do what is easy for you. For me, I started with the fast and I decided to go for the slow, and in between I went for the intermediate class. I decided to choose what was easier for me in my situation. For someone that wants to study fast, then yeah, you might have to go with the fast class. But then that means you have to study a lot, be in the library the whole time and all of that. But yeah, it's your choice. You have to just choose what goes best for you, so that at the end you can learn to speak the language. So thank you very much for watching this video to this point. Please follow my Instagram, TY Signatures, and have a lovely day. Thank you. Bye. And so today I'm here with the head wrap. Yeah, because my hair is old and needs to be changed, so I decided to tie it up. Hopefully this week I would take it off, but until then, girl has to slay, you know. We have to slay. Hey. Okay, I hope you guys like this though. My Facebook, TY Signatures Hair Salon.